Sorry that I can't be just like you. Human cloning is not yet approved. So in the meantime, let me stick to my views. And if you say I'm wrong, you better come with the truth. But clearly, they don't understand me. All they do is try me. But I will live freely. But I don't wanna say goodbye. I'm willing to give my all. Give me no fun.
And counting to my interview from the Author's Corner with Howell. 27 minutes after the hour 7 o'clock.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by, just on a smile.
The show is brought to you courtesy of Country Kitchen, Pelham Manor. They are in the center of BJ's Shopping Center off Boston Road. Today is Seafood Thursday. Good evening to the staff over there at Country Kitchen, Pelham Manor. Give them a call, 914-633-5000. Hello to all those who have it locked right now to Linkage Radio 101.5 FM. Welcome to the segment from the Author's Corner.
All about that bass, touch me. All about that bass, I said my mama, she tell me not worry about your She said, boys, I can let my booty hold
I thought of you and I said, I think they could be so appropriate since you into production and blah blah.
That's for sure until they go ahead and move along. Because you know I'm all about that bass, about that bass, I'm all about that bass, about that bass,
Ooh, alrighty, that's of course Anita Antoinette, and she is a part of this season's production of The Voice. Now with me this evening is Howell Allen. We say Howell for short. His last name, famous man. So I'd like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the segment from the Author's Corner. And it is now time for you to sit back, listen, and walk away learning something more about the man that perhaps you have never met. Welcome, Howell.
It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's very, very comfortable.
You know, in the zone, this must be...
You have zoomed in, hello?
This must be the comfort zone.
It is the comfort zone. And you notice the intro I played with Anita. I thought of your work, and I said, now what do I use? What am I supposed to come up with now that would complement what you do as a TV producer?
Yeah. And also the fact that I love bass.
And you love bass. See that? He asked me how I knew. I said perhaps it's intuition. Who knows? So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this evening's third Thursday feature from the Author's Corner. And of course, I would like you to say hello to my guest at this time. And we are streaming live in Georgia on Island Blend Radio.
Oh wow, just want to say greetings to everyone who's tuning in right now. Island Blend Radio. Big respect to each and everyone. And all of Linkage Radio listeners, it's really, really a pleasure to be here talking to you. I feel honored.
All right, and that you should. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Howell Allen. For over 20 years, Howell Allen's video and TV production has been a major part of various New York cable channels and also on the internet, which simply means he has secured his place in the world of mainstream promotion. Howell's television experiences began when the New York City Department of Education employed him on a team to produce 2 live educational programs, namely Math and Science Connections, aired on CESPN2 and NYC TV. Howell later started his own show called Backyard TV and quickly earned a reputation for his unique and skillful blending of audio and visuals. Welcome once again, sir.
Thank you, lady.
Now, to start our conversation, as a Jamaican, Howell, because you're born, bred, raised, muddled up, wrapped up, right?
Yeah, man.
Jamaican, right. You're ambitious. How does it feel to be living in New York City amidst the competition?
You know, I love living in New York, and I think, you know, the business that I'm in, you know, it's still pretty much, there's a lot of room, it's still pretty much untapped. You know, I don't really feel a lot of, you know, competition.
Mm-hmm. Is it that you see it, you sense it, but you isolate it?
I'm able to differentiate the reality from the hype.
Okay.
You know, because you know, people call me every day. A lot of calls I get, you know, from people complaining about other people. You understand? You know, well, you know, say, since, you know, this man taped me things since 1975, I know we can't see video.
Okay, yes.
So I get a lot of, you know, I see the real part of the game, you know, where people come to me with those type of issues,
all right.
and so I kind of know the reality of how it is, because a lot of people making promises that they can't deliver.
Right.
And you know, one thing about me is that, you know, you can say my work, you know, speak louder than my speech. You know, and that's me. And
we commend you for that. Now back to your memoir. Howell boasty on the cover. And it says, Howell Allen, memoir from no TV to TV producer. Now, were you concerned, Howell, because I read it and there was some detailed information in there that I said, wow, Howell had guts. And so I wanted to ask you if you were concerned about how much disclosure you would have to make and how people would react.
Okay. Before I answer that, people, I just want to clear something up. You know, there is a chapter in my book, you know, chapter 8, called Manayat.
No.
It's about a girl named Denise.
Oh dear. Not me.
Who was killing with bun. I just want to set the record straight, people, because I don't want anyone out there, you know, making assumptions or whatever. So I just want you to know that the Denise in my book is in fact your very own sweet, beautiful Lady D.
No, sir.
Not
at all. Not at all. But tell me, because I read it and, you know, the things that you mentioned in there, and I'm like, okay, but I guess in order for you to build the story and to really tell about your early beginnings and where you are today, it was important, I am of that opinion, to do so.
Yes. When I get the idea, you know, to write the book, you know, and I started to think about, you know, my journey, my past, you know, most of the stuff I'm thinking about are funny stuff.
Of course.
You understand? And that became my motivation, my big motivation, because, you know, I like to make people laugh. You know, that's kind of my thing. So once I realized how much funny stuff I have to tell, then there was no turning back for me. Now, the next step now is, you know, for me to try to balance it, you know, what I'm going to put in the book and what I'm going to leave out. And I left out a lot of, you know, the more graphics.
Of course.
Stuff.
We understand.
But then I decided, though, in the end, that I'm going to put in just enough to not really cheating the thing. Make people understand that, you know, even though I'm a quiet man, I'm a hardcore brother. Same way. So I need people to really get that, you know, that part of me. So that's why you know.
Okay.
I
had
put
to
it
build
out here to make it.
right?
I feel that it accurately represents who I am.
That's right. And they also say, you know, that Silent River runs deep.
Well,
I caught him with that one. You should see me here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me, it's the third Thursday feature of the show. And each and every third Thursday, I'm always having an author in studio with me. So with me this evening is Howell Allen, and he has written his memoir, No TV to TV producer. Now, Howell, life in Tollgate, Clarendon. Now, might I say that I was also raised at one point in Tollgate.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm with you right there.
Yeah, man.
Now, tell me, life in Tollgate, Clarendon seems to, it had you wrapped up with memories. Hence, of course, the title of your book. Now, please share your early days with us.
Well, I am one of 4 children. Right, I was actually born in a little district named Monterey. Now, when I was born, my mother left me with, you know, my grandparents and went to Kingston to live and work. So I was raised by my grandmother. Now, my grandmother now was just the sweetest woman in the world. I mean, she's just so kind-hearted, very, very special lady. But she was also a mover. Because my grandmother would move into an area and she would give her all, you know, she would give everything, all the love. And as soon as somebody step on her toe,
she moved.
then she ready then she ready to move.
I hear that.
She was also a preacher, and she had her own church. So every time she moved, you have to build a new church. I think I built my first church when I was like 2 years old.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. But she was quite instrumental in your upbringing.
Yeah, and I have so much great memories of my grandmother. You know, when like me and I would be going down the street, you know, like in American term, maybe 2 blocks.
Right.
And we wouldn't get to our destination till like 2-3 hours. Because you have to stop and talk to everybody. And then she have this thing about her now where she you know, cause she like jokes too. You know, she like jokes, and you know, when she tell a joke and somebody tell her a joke and the joke sweet her, she laugh out and push the person. There's so much time when I see somebody drop almost hurt themselves. But that's pretty much, you know, me. I was a free-spirited person, you know, growing up, and I, you know, took chances. You know, I would want to do something on the street, you know, and then I pay the consequence later. You know, like I never think about that them gonna beat me until when after you do whatever. After I have fun and whatever. You know, I used to play a lot of marbles, you know, pocket dirty like nothing, and I get so much beaten for that. But I'm the type of person, I push the envelope. I don't care. I do things, and then I suffer the consequences later.
All right, you're listening to the voice of Howell Allen. He is my guest this evening from the Author's Corner. Welcome to all those who are tuned in to Linkage Radio 101.5 FM, Linkage Radio on TuneIn Radio, Linkage Radio on Ustream. Perhaps you've dialed 712-432-6858 to listen via your phones. And of course, if you are logged on to islandblendradio.com out of Georgia, I welcome you to Inside the Zone. I'm your host, Lady D. Continuing with my interview with Howell right now. Howell, there are 2 chapters that stands out in my mind as a reader, right? Chapter 34, your acceptance of your name.
Yes, the name Allen.
Yes. Can you share that? You know why? Because oftentimes when I'm here in studio and I talk about a name or something, I'm always saying to the audience that your name means something. It tells about your genealogy, that there are bloodlines that came together. But in your circumstance, so share with me.
Yeah. You know, when I was little, I started to notice that I have a name that nobody else has. You know, it's like this whole family, and there's just one person in the family, which is me, have the name Allen. And it was sort of like a hush-hush thing, you know. Maybe I wasn't like brave enough back then to really, you know, question the thing and say, well, you know, where that name I come from, you know.
Don't call me alone.
Yeah. But you know, my mother and my grandmother was trying so hard, you know, to, you know, put food on the table and to, you know, make us comfortable. So I really try hard not to make them say anything to make them feel bad.
Okay.
So I think at some point my brain kind of fixed it, you know, make it like, you know, not be an issue.
Right.
And I pretty much ignore it. You know, some members from the family always say to me, you know, me and my big sister have the same father, but my big sister agreed. And then I say, well, come, me and her the same father, and then we have different names. Then it's years after, you know, when I came to the US and I filed for my mom, you know, she came up, and then, you know, not too long before she died, she told me the story. She said, you know, when she was pregnant for my big sister, her appearance think the man was a bad breed.
Sorry. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you have to read the book. Because when I saw that term, I'm like, oh my God, Howell has really taken me back in time. But yes.
So they said, I'm on their bad breed, you know, so, and they decided that they don't want my mom to accept anything from him, the family. And they said they're going to take care of my sister and give my sister everything she wants. But my mom was, I guess, still in love with him. So she was still beating around the bush with him. Then she get pregnant with me.
Yes.
So after she get pregnant with me now, you know, the story is that, you know, they came up with this little scheme now. And said, okay, because she don't want them to know that she's pregnant with the bad breed guy again.
Right.
So they decided that they're gonna give me one of his friend's name. You know?
Yes, yes.
And that's, I never, you know, I don't know the friend, but that's the story my mom told me.
Right,
you know?
right.
As I say, I think, you know, stuff like that, you know, I guess because I'm sort of a creative person, I'm sort of a forward thinker.
Yes.
You know, that I don't really let it affect what
Who
I
you
do.
were, what you wanted to become.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, when I came to the US, and I remember, you know, I was married, my first wife, and it didn't work out, and you know, we separated.
Right.
And I remember when I was working out the settlement or whatever, you know, the lady tell the lawyer, she said, look, you know, only thing I want is a name.
Okay.
You know? And I'm saying, you know, because I guess you like the name or whatever.
Okay.
And poor though, you know, the name is, you know, it's so funny when she says, only thing I want is his name, Alan. And I said, well, you know, God knows what does, so, you know.
Indeed. Okay. It's a good read, though, and I noted that chapter, and I also noted chapter 40, which reveals about your paternal love for your son.
Yes.
And, you know, that he became ill.
Yes. Well, my son, you know, at around 2 years old, you know, he started having seizures.
Right.
And, you know, that became my, what should I say, the calming effect in my life. I can, you know, able to put things in perspective, you know, as far like me as a human being who sometimes I think I'm a rock. You know, I think I'm a rock, I'm all that. Sometimes I even get a little arrogant at times. You understand? But my son is always there just to, you know, it's like a version of me, the nicer version of me in a sense.
I hear that. Okay.
He's as creative as me, and he's just, you know.
So how is he doing today?
Well, he haven't had an attack in a few years.
Okay, so we say
So
to God be the glory.
Yes. Yes, he does have a little bit of speech impairment, but
but other than that, he's good.
yes. And this kid is sort of joy. Oh my God, he's always smiling, always pleasant. Oh man,
he's just your child.
Oh yes.
Indeed. All right, if you're just joining me, I'd like to welcome you once again. Linkage Radio 101.5 FM. Howell Allen, Howell we call him. He's my guest this evening, and he has written his memoir. And it's titled From No TV to TV Producer. Now tell me, no TV, because I know people had black and white. When the station went off air, you had the meeny issue. If you couldn't pick up your transmission properly, you either resort to a hanger or something. So give take it from me, I've done the hanger thing.
Well, at least you have a TV.
But at least I'm sure there were persons, perhaps if you never had one, as you say, you know, you went on somebody's veranda or something.
Yeah, there was like maybe 2 people in the whole district, you know, who had TV that time. And when I put the book together, and I thought about the title, what I'm gonna name this book? You understand? And I said I wanted something that gonna kind of capture and put in perspective then and my current state. And then right there at that moment, it become not just a joke book anymore. You understand? But it becomes then right there. It started out as like a joke book, a book of jokes. But then when I get to the actual title of the book, then it becomes a story of, you know, a hope.
Right.
So I'm saying a story where you know people can see how I deal with issues, and the fact that I kept on going. You know, I do this and I do this, and whatever comes my way, I kept on going, and until you know I can buy a TV.
Can you imagine? And you can put people on TV too.
Of course.
Ain't that something? All right, we're going to take a break with some great music, but I'm having a great discussion this evening with Howell. I had learned so much about you reading the story, and you know, I had to say, boy, Howell, I have to give it to you. You have come a long way, and there's so much more for you to experience.
If I was to tell you just how much I need you, would you love tonight? Would you not believe me? Cause I'm not that easy, never turns out right. I'm trying to change the rules, you deserve something good in your life. We waited for far too long, so come get your blessings tonight. Baby, won't you come over now, so I can show you now. Promise I got enough to give you all that you need, baby.
I'm going to ask you to just read a little part of it. Maybe your favorite chapter.
Love is as cool as mine. I'm gonna waste your time, so bring it all to me, baby. Ooh, bring it all to me. Turn down the light.
That's my girl Estelle.
My love tonight. Let's do a love.
4 minutes and counting to wrapping up the show at 8 o'clock.
Don't wanna waste my time.
Right now I'm going to ask Alan to do a read for me. And I told him to read his favorite chapter, the behind the scenes details. I can't even tell you, but we're having a good time. Go ahead, Alan.
Alright folks, this chapter is titled, I just had to get one more dumpling. While I was a 9th grade student at Tollgate School, one lunchtime, you know, we all were in the canteen waiting for our turn to eat. The lunch quantity was a bit low that day, so they were only giving each students 2 dumplings with bulgur. Our miserable lunch lady, Miss Ritty, who just happened to live near my home, was serving up her lunch on the old metal plate as usual. Okay, 9th grade was the top grade at the time. And when the top grade started going up, Miss Ritty realized that she had enough dumplings for all 9th graders to get 3 dumplings instead of 2. In the middle of serving the 9th grades, Miss Ritty made the announcement that anyone in 9th grade who got 2 dumplings, they should come back and get 1 more. Even though I was among those who already got 3 dumplings, I decided to put a fast one. So I took one of the dumplings and shoved it in my mouth and pushed back my plate to get another. Miss Ritty somehow knew I already had 3 dumplings and angrily fling another dumpling in my metal plate. I had to scramble like I was a cricketer to catch the bouncing dumpling before it hit the ground. She then called me out in her high screaming voice and said, "Howie, did you get 3 dumplings already?" I couldn't answer people. I got a whole dumpling stuff in my mouth. Then Miss Ritty screamed out again and said, "When I go home, I'm going to tell your grandmother not to send you back to school because you tried now you need." Listen, everybody laugh after me.
When I read that, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so now you realize why you really have to get a copy. Now, Howell, I'd like you to just finally tell me, in the minds of your readers, what is the most important reflection you expect them to gather from your memoir?
I want every individual to understand that even if you started out, at a disadvantage, maybe you didn't get an education or whatever, you still can play a vital role in society. And I discovered, what my role was going to be, and I played my role. I was able to serve on a daily basis, people from all walks of life. No matter the title, I'll be able to, to cater to everybody and make everybody bring that little thing that I bring. Even though I'm coming from a situation where it may have not been possible, but I still find a way to make it happen.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
All right, and how can they get a copy of your book?
Well, everyone can go to my website at backyardtv.net or musicshack.tv, and there is a link on the top of each page that says My Book. I want you to click at that link, it will give you information. The book is also available on Amazon.com. So if you go to Amazon website and search for from no TV to TV producer, Howell Allen, you'll be able to get a copy of the book on Amazon, or you can call me 917-209-3437, and I can, if you want a signed copy, you can call me directly. And I can make arrangements for people to have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap from the Author's Corner. My guest, Howell Allen, with his memoir, From No TV to TV Producer. Get your copy today. You will laugh, but yes, you will get an understanding of who Howell Allen is. Thank you for being here with me this evening.
It's a pleasure to be here inside the zone.
Yes, that's how it goes right here on Inside the Zone with your host, Lady D. Thanks to all those who had it locked on Linkage Radio 101.5 FM, those who tuned in via islandblendradio.com. Hey Lou, thank you once again. And to all those of you who are simply relaxing at home, you're perhaps sipping a glass of wine or having some good old chocolate or cerisier. Something, something you had a rough day, maybe cerisier.
Some white one.
That too, but then yeah. Or some Baileys. Hello, you had to go so hard. Some Baileys would have been fine. But whatever it is that you're doing, if you're sitting with your children and they have homework and you have schoolwork as an adult, I'd like to say take it easy. And blessings everyone, thanks to Country Kitchen Pelham Manor for being the sponsor of the show. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember, in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. I'm out of here.